All right, so last week we had a funny one, that was a little lighthearted. This one is a little hard. Okay, have y'all heard about the execution-style murder of the 5-year-old little boy in North Carolina?
No, please tell me about this.
Enlighten me.
Okay, all right, man. So I'm gonna read this to y'all. All right, this happened in Wilson, North Carolina. All right, the shooting happened around 5:30 p.m. on Sunday, August 9th. When officers arrived, they found Cannon suffering from a gunshot wound. Officers and EMS immediately began performing life-saving efforts. The boy was taken to the hospital where he later died. Neighbor Charlene Walburn said another neighbor told her that a man walked up to little boy Cannon and shot him. Family members said Cannon Hinnant was playing outside his father's house when he was shot in the head. The boy's two sisters, aged 8 and 7, saw their brother get shot, according to Cannon's mother. Darius N. Sessoms, 25, was apprehended in Goldsboro by members of the U.S. Marshal Service Carolinas Regional Fugitive Task Force. Goldsboro Police and the Wayne County Sheriff's Office said he was charged with first-degree murder and was being held without bond in the Wilson County Jail. So, 25-year-old black brother walks up to a little 5-year-old white kid playing in his yard with his sister and brother, pulls out his pistol and blows the little kid's head off. The neighbors said they heard the father. At first they thought it was, maybe something like a pop or a bang or something, until they heard the father's shrills, holding his lifeless son's body in his arms.
Man, I couldn't
and his
imagine.
brother and sister watched their sibling die and get shot in the head. That's going to ruin them and scar them for life.
Did they say if there was a motive for this, or was it just random?
Yeah, man, and this is the problem. And that, my question is, do you think that Americans pick and choose what murders are more important than others?
Depends on define Americans.
Okay.
That's a deeper question.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if a lot of times is it the narrative that the media pushes? Is there an agenda with it? Is this going to move the needle, or would it just be considered another black man shooting and being the stereotype? So.
And on top of that, how do we know how many of these stories the reporters are bringing to the table and then are getting phased out by their editors? Like,
exactly.
Nah, we don't want that.
Exactly, and that's I think so those that again the problem with this polarized nation is that, unfortunately, this young man's death is being hijacked by those on the conservative right that are saying, where's the outcry from the media? Right. When a black man, George Floyd, and I'm seeing pictures of them, just opposing George Floyd and this little boy, like, where's the outrage? And here's the thing. There's truth to that. Like, where is the outrage, right? Yeah. Like, how do we pick and choose what the nation is going to be more upset about now? We as a people have suffered under the weight, and oppression of America as a nation as a whole. But in the modern day, why does there not seem to be the media attention? This is nuts, man. How do you walk up to a 5-year-old little boy, man? Yeah. I can't. I almost want to I almost want to cry when I think about the imagery of this father, seeing his little boy's his head shot in the head with blood everywhere like that. There's no reason for this. I don't know what's wrong with this dude. If he had mental health issues,
but you know what is going. I think the main thing with America, and whether it's the media or either with instances like this, if it is a black man that did this to a white person, we know exactly what's going to happen to that man. He'll probably go to jail. He's going to go to prison for the rest of his life. Yeah. He's also probably going to get the death sentence or something ridiculous. They're going to strum up the charges, draw up the the sentimental aspect of this. I think on the other end of it for us,
depending if it's legal in that state, right?
Right. So for us, when things happen to us, we don't know what's going to happen to the individual. Like, we didn't know what was going to happen to George Floyd's killer, because there's a chance they'll let him off. You know what I'm saying? So I think the outrage comes because we've seen it happen so many times without any justice being served. But in this instance, I hate for the little man to lose his life. And I mean, there's so much context missing here. I would just love to know what was in this person's head, or what he was going through, or why did he choose this specific individual. Where like, there's so much missing here that I want to know, and it wouldn't change how I felt about it. But I think that's the main thing. Like, we know they caught this guy, they got a name. So once they got a name, he's dead out here. Like, it didn't matter what he did. So
and like I don't want the family's hurt and pain to be hijacked by people who want to use this as a political stunt to try to prove a point that white people's lives are not important, because that's what they're trying to do. Like, they're actually even using the "say his name" hashtag.
Exactly.
Okay,
say it.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Because justice should be equal. That's valid, right? Like, we should care. Like, we can do both. Like, this idea that we don't, like, we have to pick one or the other. Like, no, I can be mad about George Floyd having a knee in his neck, okay, for 8 minutes, and I can also be mad about a 5-year-old little boy getting shot in the head for no damn reason. I can be mad about both. This to me,
neither had to happen.
Exactly. As fathers, like, this has nothing to do with black, white, Hispanic, Asian, or anything else.
Nothing.
That's right or wrong.
Absolutely, man. You know, okay, so my last question about this incident is, do you think, have black people been hurt so badly that we are now biased and we don't have compassion for anyone but black people?
Yes. Because I feel like it's hard for us to address anybody else's issues until we feel like ours have been adrassed. So it's like, you want us to feel compassion for you, but we don't get that same consideration. So I think that feeds into it a lot as well.
Isn't that sad, though, that we as a nation have got to that point to where, like, it's like wrong repaying wrong? Like, we've gotten so callous and cold-hearted.
Like, we've started to turn that same blind eye that's been turned to us for so long, because one, we don't feel like even if we stood out here and spoke on those things that it would be effective, nobody would listen. So it's like, y'all don't listen to us for our own issues. No. So how am I gonna get out here for this little guy and you know, put my signs up and do all of that when you all won't even fix the issues that we have right here for us? Like, you don't. If we're voiceless, we're voiceless. So if we're going to be voiceless, let's use the little bit of a voice that we have, the little sound that we can make to speak on the issues that really affect us the most. It sucks, but that's just where we've come to as a country.
I agree. And, you know, somewhere, you know, with the Most High, Tamir Rice and Little Cannon Hinnant are together, rejoicing and feeling very, very much sorrowful for the state of this country and what we've descended into. If we don't fix the hard-heartedness, the callousness, the divisiveness, the lack of civility, this nation is in a downward spiral from an integrity and character standpoint, from a moral standpoint. And I'm telling you, when that happens, it's just more calamity to follow. So everyone needs to wake up, okay? The wanton violence, the wanton murder, the selfishness, it's got to stop, man. It really does, man. But